Hello everyone, I'm Hillary with Dominion Tea. Today we're going to talk about Darjeeling tea versus a Darjeeling-style tea. So what do you need to know as a consumer? Darjeeling was given a geographic identifier back in the early 2000s. This is really important. If you're not familiar with geographic identifiers, it's a system to identify usually agricultural products by the region in which they are produced. The first set of geographic identifiers were put together by the French. So for those of us in the United States, you're going to notice champagne only comes when it's imported in from France now. All of our sparkling wines are sparkling wines. They used to be able to go by the name champagne, but not since the late 1990s. So why is this important? For agricultural products, especially tea, it allows you to identify between regions, and it allows the kind of end consumer to be absolutely certain that what they're buying is what they expect. So at its height, before the geographic identifier, there was more Darjeeling tea being exported out of China than there was out of Darjeeling because of demand for it. So there was a huge amount of counterfeit Darjeeling on the market. And there still is if you don't know who your tea merchant is that you're buying from, and if they don't disclose the country that comes out of. So for those of us who go in and do business in Darjeeling, part of what we do is enforce that geographic identifier. But that doesn't mean Darjeeling-style tea isn't made in other parts of the world. And it also means, as the end consumer, you can kind of play around with terroir again, right? So this is the effect of where it's grown and all the weather conditions on its final flavor. So what's really fun, we actually happen to carry with us both first Flush Darjeeling, absolutely out of the Darjeeling region, and Garden of Dreams, which is out of Nepal. So geographically speaking, they're next door neighbors. They're both growing at the same height, and they're both processing the same way. So what's so great about the Darjeeling process? What they're doing is they're allowing for multiple levels of oxidation in the tea leaf and in the batch that they harvest. Now, a Darjeeling typically is hand-plucked, so it's going to be the bud and the first two leaves is what they're after for a high-quality Darjeeling. They're going to sort them, and they're going to allow them to wither and oxidize at different rates. That's how you end up in the dry leaf with all the multiple colors. This process can be done anywhere in the world with any types of tea, which is why you can end up with counterfeit Darjeeling. But what you want to look for is, well, if you like that Darjeeling style, but you can't get your hands on true Darjeeling, which sometimes is really hard and has been especially hard the last couple of years, you can look for Darjeeling style and maybe fill in the gap while you wait it out. But the Darjeeling style in another region is going to give you a different flavor profile. So when you talk about our first flush, right, everybody talks about Darjeeling as having a very muscatel flavor, which it absolutely does. Garden of Dreams, which is a Darjeeling-style Nepalese green tea, isn't going to go quite muscatel. So it's a little bit more vegetal. And this is where it gets kind of fun. Because while we absolutely want to respect Darjeeling, when a tea master takes that process of making a Darjeeling-style tea, he can, or she can, come up with a very different flavor profile, but still give you beautiful leaves and a great drinking experience. And so just be aware while you're out, if you ever wonder, well, Darjeeling style versus Darjeeling. Darjeeling style means it was not grown in Darjeeling, India. And so you've got a different topography and a different flavor profile. So keep that in mind as you're out shopping and keep exploring your tea.
We hope you enjoyed learning more about tea with us. Hit the subscribe button so that you can be notified when we add more videos to our channel. And check out the highlighted videos to learn even more about tea. And last but not least, you can check out all of the teas we talk about in our videos at dominiontea.com.